There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say
I would love reconciliation.
Planning to bring forward legislation in an attempt to strip the Duke and Duchess.
Prince Harry just broke down publicly after the British Parliament moved to destroy his royal title once and for all. The same man who left the royals 5 years ago is still out here milking every royal benefit like he never packed his bags.
Can't be half in and half out.
But this time, Parliament isn't playing. They've finally started pulling the plug.
No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth.
Parliament has had enough. The long overdue cleanup of Harry's Duke of Sussex and His Royal Highness titles is finally happening. He left royal duties back in early 2020, walked out with Meghan, and now here we are, 5 years later. And he's still walking around like nothing has changed.
There's a hierarchy of the family. You know, there's leaking, but there's also planting of stories.
There was a war against Meghan to suit other people's agendas.
Okay, for now, focus here for a minute. Don't worry, their drama will keep going on. Think a little about yourself too. An Indonesian scientist has uncovered a shocking truth about belly fat, and it has nothing to do with diet or exercise. 95% of people who tried this strange bedtime ritual lost 25 pounds or more. Some even dropped over 50, all while sleeping. No gym, no starving, just one simple step before bed. It sounds crazy, but it's backed by science. Tap the link in the description and see for yourself.
No royal work, no palace responsibilities. But somehow, Harry still expects taxpayer-funded security, the full use of his titles, and the royal treatment while chilling in California. That's not how this works. Parliament didn't wait this long just to keep funding a royal influencer couple from across the Atlantic. So, they've finally pulled out the heavy artillery, a century-old law called the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917.
It's about hatred. It's about race.
It's a dirty game.
Yes, the same law used on royals who supported enemy nations during World War I. That's how seriously this is being taken. Lawmakers say Harry has done something similar, not with weapons, but with words, politics, and Netflix contracts.
I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace, and there was a very interesting source inside close to the Prince of Wales who spoke to the Daily Beast. He said that William is furious, unsurprisingly.
He aired palace secrets. He dragged the family in interviews. He made political comments in the US. He demanded armed security from a country he doesn't even live in. That's the final straw. And just when people thought it couldn't get more ridiculous, Meghan delivered the most unnecessary royal flex of the year.
After Meghan Markle sent a gift to a friend using her former title, Her Royal Highness, despite the fact that she and Harry stepped away from their royal roles in 2020.
A luxury gift basket sent out by her team, tagged with the words, HRH the Duchess of Sussex. The same HRH she agreed not to use, the same one that was supposed to disappear when they left. Somehow, it showed up on a ribbon. Cute.
Damn them! This has reportedly enraged heir to the throne, Prince William, who wants to officially strip their behinds of the title once and for all.
Her spokesperson said it was a private thing, a personal gift. But this wasn't handwritten in pencil on the back of a napkin. It was printed, packed, shipped, and posted online. There's a whole assembly line behind that title slip, and it gave Parliament exactly what they needed. Proof that the Sussexes don't follow rules. They bend them, dress them in pastel, and call it a brand.
Is it a bad look for Meghan to still refer to herself as a royal?
No. MPs didn't bother with long statements. One of them just said, "Strip the titles now." That's how fast things are moving. You could almost hear the sigh of relief coming out of Westminster.
William is reportedly just waiting to take the
Maybe it's
throne
not true.
and be king so that he could strip her of her title.
Meanwhile, Harry's team didn't see it coming. Reports say he's shocked, completely unprepared. His usual defenders? Silent. Meghan's nowhere near the courtroom. No joint interviews, no PR spin. The energy is gone. And across the palace, Prince William is reportedly done watching. He's the one pushing this from the inside.
To myself as Her Royal Highness. I want her to give me HRH.
Can I just ask a really dumb?
While King Charles battles his health and his emotions, it's William who's taking on the cleanup job. According to multiple palace insiders, the king is too emotionally compromised to lead any charge against Harry, and honestly, it tracks. Charles has always tried to play the soft father role, the same role that let this entire Sussex circus spiral out of control. He's reportedly described Harry's actions as a dagger to the heart. But let's be real, there's been no dagger in return.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer.
Sources close to the palace told The Telegraph and the Daily Beast that Prince William has been privately urging senior courtiers and members of parliament to take formal steps to remove Harry's remaining titles. Yes, the same titles that should have vanished when Harry cannonballed out of Buckingham Palace in 2020 and landed in Oprah's backyard.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
And this isn't just political theater. William is making moves. According to Radar Online, insiders claim that his first official act as king may be to rip off every last title from Harry and Meghan. We're talking full wipe. No HRH, no Duke, no Sussex. Nothing to cling to, nothing to market. Just two former royals with Spotify refunds and Netflix flashbacks. The whispers about this move have picked up speed ever since the HRH names were quietly removed from the official royal family website in mid-2024.
It's Harry and Meghan. So I think the understanding is that when he becomes monarch, they will be formally stripped of the HRH.
Behind all this, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has been unusually quiet by design. People magazine and Vanity Fair have reported that while she hasn't spoken publicly about the Sussexes since 2021, she has remained fully in support of William's behind-the-scenes push to strip the couple of their royal privileges. A royal aide even told The Times, "She supports it because someone has to finally stop the damage." In short, the palace may look calm, but the future queen is already backing a royal demolition job.
Chip away at the crown and the validity of the crown and the credibility of the crown.
And here's where the hypocrisy hits its peak. The same couple that stood in front of millions during the 2021 Oprah interview, detailing how toxic the royal family was, how they wanted peace and privacy, they're still using royal branding to this day. On April 17, 2025, Meghan Markle posted a thank you note on Instagram, addressed to her as Your Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Not someone else's typo, her own public post, her own endorsement of a title she agreed not to use.
It's just gotten out of hand and, we need to take a tougher line basically in the family against Harry and Meghan. The
2020 Sandringham Agreement, hammered out between the Queen, Charles, William, and the Sussexes, clearly stated that while they could retain their HRH titles technically, they were not allowed to use them in any public or commercial setting. And here we are, 5 years later, and not only is the HRH still showing up on gift baskets and Instagram stories, it's plastered across their business paperwork. According to Business Insider, Meghan and Harry's U.S. Foundation documents for the Archewell organization still list them with Duke and Duchess styling. It's not subtle, it's branding. And it's enraging the people who have to foot the royal bill.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
A YouGov poll released on March 4th, 2025, found that 64% of British citizens believe the Sussexes should be fully stripped of all royal titles. The same poll found that support for Meghan specifically dropped to just 24% approval, the lowest since their departure in 2020.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview.
The public isn't confused. They see two people who left the palace shouting freedom and then built a luxury brand on the royal name they claimed to reject. And MPs aren't sugarcoating it anymore. One member of parliament, quoted in The Guardian, summed it up like this: "You can't burn down the palace and expect an invite to tea." That quote is now doing the rounds on British social media, slapped on memes and news clips alike. The narrative is locked in. This isn't a royal exit. This is a royal hustle.
You chose to leave. You chose to try a different way of living, independent financial commitment, earning money to support your lifestyle. And of course, because the Queen quite rightly said you can't use your HRH, you can't use royal, and you can't be half in.
Even the palace press office, known for its decades-long silence policy, has started to shift. When asked in late May 2025 about why Harry and Meghan's HRH titles were quietly scrubbed from the website, a spokesperson told The Sun, "We are in the process of updating various public-facing assets to reflect current arrangements."
Just don't see how it could happen. Even in the interview, there was one point after Harry had made some really quite startling claims. He even suggested that there are dark forces at play that want history to repeat itself.
None of this would sting so hard if the Sussexes hadn't spent the past 4 years turning their grievances into dollar signs. But they did. From the $100 million Netflix deal, to Harry's $20 million memoir Spare, to their Spotify contract worth an estimated $25 million, every single deal leaned heavily on their titles and their royal past. Not their talents, not their resumes, the titles.
Directly related to some of the stories that have leaked since the funeral.
And while they're raking in the cash, the British public is done clapping politely. People are asking the obvious. How do you burn the place down and then ask for the keys again? That's not reconciliation. That's revisionist history.
And let's forget whether he's been influenced by his atrocious wife or not. Let's just park that for one moment.
Even the royal fan base, once fiercely loyal, is cracking. Harry is now widely seen as a walking contradiction. Demands privacy, then drops memoirs. Criticizes the monarchy, then name drops royal connections in every deal. Attacks the crown, then cries betrayal when the crown responds.
Brittany, as you can tell, I'm very worked up about this. I'm very disgusted about this. I'm actually very emotional about this because I just feel like...
And Meghan? Nowhere to be seen. She skipped his 2025 BBC interview, didn't show up for his court hearings, and has left him to clean up the royal title mess alone. Among older voters and monarchists, that absence hasn't gone unnoticed. They see it as tactical. Let Harry fall on the sword while she shields the brand. In royal circles, a brutal new phrase is gaining steam. No titles for traitors. It's not subtle, and it's catching on. Because this isn't about forgiveness anymore. It's about closure. For the public, for Parliament, for the palace. And what comes next? That depends on how fast the crown wants to cut. Because the people, they're already holding the scissors.